Hi there Altenew friends, welcome back to another perfect pairing with me. This video tutorial focuses on products I helped design for Altenew. This is the Lush Layers Stencil and Die Bundle, and I want to show you how to use your organized Altenew color stash to create and discover new color palettes. Before we get into today's project, make sure you subscribe to the Altenew channel for more card making and paper crafting tutorials. My Perfect Pairings with Jaycee series explores crafting techniques that effortlessly blend sure-to-love new releases and well-loved Altenew favorites. If you love these kinds of crafty tutorials, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of my videos airing on the 2nd and 4th Sunday. I have 3 effective tips for discovering new color palettes and utilizing your Altenew coloring supplies to bring those palettes to life with what you already own. To illustrate this, I have 2 products I originally helped design for the Altenew 2024 Sweet Shop Retreat in Syracuse, New York. This first product is the Gourmet Garland Layering Stencil Set. Lemon verbena, mint, and nasturtium are all edible and flavorful leaves. I suggest pairing this stencil with other Altenew edible theme sets for an instant vintage dessert plate feeling. Up next is the Sweet Nasturtium die set. Again, to go with the edible theme, I was thinking of nasturtium and pansy flowers. I wanted a flower die set that could give the illusion of both flowers. And of course, the added macaron is a nice edible focal point in this set, along with its accompanying leaves. So let's use these 2 items as well as some other exciting products from the January 2025 release to make a card. The Pantone 2025 color of the year is Mocha Mousse. On the Pantone website is this inspiration palette. What I love about organizing my inks and creating ink swatches is that I can easily experiment with color palettes that I would have never thought to use on my own, sort of like this one. There are so many free and paid resources of inspiration color palettes, but sometimes Pantone, Google, and even the Altenew website can supply endless inspiration for creative and even challenging color palettes for your next Altenew project. Right away, I thought that the Toasted Mauve from Woodland Escape Fresh Dye ink set was the closest match I could find in ink. Now, I make my own templates for ink swatching, but I highly suggest you try and find what works best for you. The Altenew website has a freebies section full of blank color guides that you can print on your favorite white cardstock to get you started. So now that I have found the palette I want to experiment with, I can now use my ink swatches to color match. For Pantone Rosy Tan, I found Dusty Pink to be the close match, Matcha Tea for Pantone Tendril, Olive for Pantone Willow, Eastern Sky for Pantone Cornflower Blue, Wisteria for Pantone Viola. Then in my cardstock swatches, I found that the Evening Gray closely matched Pantone Cobblestone, and white cardstock was close enough for Gardenia. Swatching is coupled with inventory and organization. It's so important for me to be organized with my Altenew supplies, as I want to be sure the color I'm observing in my palette actually matches what's in my Altenew stash. I stay organized with these 2 little binders I made as well as the ink swatch cards and tabs. I'm glad to say this really works for me, but you might prefer Jennifer McGuire's method of organization with coin sleeves or the key ring approach. For me, this was the hybrid of both solutions by having a neat little binder that's sturdy, but having the Altenew ink families grouped together so that I know what to reference on the Altenew website. I also do the same for my Crafty Necessities cardstocks by organizing the cardstocks on this key ring. This works best for me because I can hold up the swatch to my monitor or phone screen to get a color match to my palette. Inspiration palettes, ink swatching, and color inventory. Those are the 3 reasons I take the time to maintain and organize my collection from Altenew. Let's put this into a card now that we know which colors and color families to use. On my 9x12 sticky mat grid, I'm going to quickly work through the Gourmet Garland layering stencil background, starting with layer 1 and working to layer 6. I'm using Matcha Tea on all the base layers or all the odd layers of stencils. Then on the even layer stencils, I'm using Olive. I'm applying these inks in not so smooth gradients for a little bit of that antique dinner plate feeling. Layers 1 and 2 represent the mint leaves, 3 and 4 represent lemon verbena, and 5 and 6 represent nasturtium leaves. I'll set this aside while I work on the foreground elements of this Pantone color palette card. I cut 2 sets of the flower images in Sweet Nasturtium die set from white cardstock. On this first flower on the left, I'll ink blend a smooth gradient from the center to the tip of the petals of dusty pink. Then on the grouping of 5 petals in the center, I'll add Eastern Sky to the inner portion of the petals and Wisteria on the tips. The nice thing about organizing my Altenew inks by ink family is that if I want to go darker or lighter on a certain ink, I just have to follow the ink color grouping of 4. So Andromeda is also in Enchanted Garden fresh dye ink. I'll use this to deepen the centers of 4 of the 5 petals. I'll use Andromeda to color the base layer to the petals, and Eastern Sky to color the other. This is actually the first layer of the petal images. Then I'll use a touch of Toasted Mauve to color the flower center layers. I decided to use cardstock to cut some foliage elements for this card. I color matched Forest Glades to Pantone Tendril and Moss to Pantone Willow. I cut the nasturtium leaves from the Forest Glades cardstock. Then these vine images from Altenew's newest subscription service, Creative Cuts. Think Craft a Flower, but a Craft a something else besides flowers monthly subscription. I thought the vines looked like rosemary when bundled together and would be a nice additional garnish to my card. I also cut the small flower image from Creative Cuts Houseplants. I meant to grab Olaf, but I grabbed Olive fresh dye ink to add a little depth to the die-cut nasturtium leaves. Then I'll apply a light halo of Morning Frost to the center of the white flower petals. After following the instructions in layering the flowers on both Sweet Nasturtium and Creative Cuts Houseplants, I'll die-cut another set of images. Notice you can rotate the flower image and switch up the color palette for a nasturtium and pansy pairing, again both edible flowers. On my sticky mat grid, I have the layers to the macaron in Sweet Nasturtium. This will be my Toasted Mauve or Pantone Mocha Mousse element. I applied ink to the macaron layers and dusty pink to the base layer of the filling. Then I glued all the layers together for this fun dimensional chocolate macaron. Now I can work on assembling this card. The Gourmet Garland is my base element. Then I'll arrange the nasturtium leaves and my rosemary looking elements as garnish to this plate. I'll tuck in the nasturtium pansy flower and the white flower garnish around my chocolate macaron. I added espresso liquid watercolor splatters throughout the card for a little bit of cocoa powder dusting, as well as pure white ink spray for a powdered sugar feel. I die cut the Hugs sentiment from Creative Cuts Houseplants to help highlight the chocolate macaron, then added some ivory pearl dots to act as sugared pearl embellishments to this card. I'm surprised with the outcome of this color palette in comparison to the inspiration image from Pantone featuring the 2025 color of the year. I think it's fun to get a different perspective on your Altenew collection of inks, and I encourage you to take a look at your organized stash to see how you can incorporate different colors into projects in ways you never imagined. My series encourages you to shop your existing Altenew stash and rekindle their love with newer releases. Perfect Pairings with Jaycee airs on the Altenew channel every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Perfect Pairing episode with me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.